Hello, good evening everyone. Today we have gathered to the workshop for the Postman API. This event is brought to you by the SLIIT FOSS community. For the event today, we have Kaveesha Gimhana, part of the board of officials for the SLIIT FOSS community, secretary of the FCSC, and definitely last but not least, a Postman student expert. He is definitely someone knowledgeable on this topic and we're excited for this event alongside you. We'd also like to extend our welcomes to Ali Mustafa, the student's manager postman, who is here to observe the proceedings. Without further ado, I would like to hand over the floor to Kavisha.
Okay, Sahas, I hope you guys hear me. I'm Kaveesha Gimhana from SLIIT Institute of Information Technology, Sri Lanka, and Postman student expert. And hope you are doing safe and sound. I'll cover the API 101 workshop today. Just to say hi for everyone, and you can just write hi in chat. Chat is open. I would like to be a help for continuing sessions being interactive, and maybe you can write where are you from. Just give a hi with your university and where you from your organization name. And there are reactions. You can use the reactions also. Okay, Kalambu. Come on, guys. You can use the chat, and chat is open for you. You have any questions, and you can ask any questions to the chat, and my organizing team is help you to get the perfect answer for your questions. And okay, hello Candy, hello Kalambu. I'm from Kalambu also. Panadura. Hi Pasa. Okay, good. Mention your university as well. Okay, well, let's go. So today agenda is going to be very simple one. I'll cover the very basic things of API. What is API? What is API is useful for? And API literacy, and using Postman. How do you work with API? And first of all, intro to API and Postman requests and responses, and we'll move to the middle of the session, hands-on. Move to the hands-on session with Postman, and we'll provide you the resource links for access you to download and get the knowledge from the Postman, and we will share you the links while the session is going on. And end of the session, you guys are open for ask questions, and we'll give you the perfect answers for your questions. And this is the simple agenda for today. Okay, let's move on. Digital restaurant. So when you go to the restaurant, I hope you guys usually go to a restaurant and get some food, and but for the situation you can't go anywhere, right? From in Sri Lanka citizens. So when you go into the restaurant, you have to order, right? So there are waiter will come and ask you what you need, and you will order your question, your meal, and waiter go for chef, and chef put that order, and waiter give it back to you, right? This is a simple example for the API. In here, what do you guys think? Who's the API in this scenario? There are me, waiter, and chef. Who's the API in here? Okay, perfect. I'll answer that. The waiter is the API, and more on this is the basic client-server architecture, right? I hope you guys know very well about the client-server architecture. Client maybe can your mobile phone, your PC, and ATM machine, right? So when you if you need to see a website, you going to type in address bar, and you hit. In this scenario, the what you request is going through the internet and through API for the endpoint. Endpoint means a server, hosted server, and server will respond to you what you request. Example, if you go into the address bar and google.com, and you can see the Google image and the search bar, right? And another example is the ATM machine. When you go to the ATM machine, ATM machine works as a client, right? Client, and it's if you need to get how is your balance in your bank account, and enter enter your credit card or debit card or bank accounts to the ATM machine, and ATM machine will request to the API to bank servers, and bank servers get back to you through API how is your ATM balance and your bank account balance. Likewise. Okay, let's go. So what is an API? API stands for Application Programming Interface, right? So APIs and API is a set of functions that allows applications to access data and interact with the external software components, operating systems, or microservices, right? In present, there are most of companies provide their open APIs for use for your apps and your systems. As example, if you build a mobile app, you need to implement the weather or calendar to your app. You don't have to develop it from scratch, right? You can use the Google Calendar. There are Google Calendar API and with the API through, and you can implement those API to your system, and you can get a perfect calendar and weather. It's a basic example that we are using APIs in a present situation. The wonderful thing about how development works now is that you don't have to build everything from scratch that I mentioned earlier, right? You can use services from other companies like Google API, Spotify, as well. So, okay, let's move on. This is a bit technical one. Do you guys use Instagram? Yes or no? Use the chat and there are reactions. Yes, no. You guys feel free to use the chat, right? Okay, a lot of guys using Instagram. Yeah, of course, I'm using also. Right? I'm very interactive with active with Instagram in the day-to-day life. So, do you guys know how Instagram works with APIs? How Instagram use their APIs and how it works? Okay, let me introduce that. I'm pretty sure a lot of guys using Instagram, right? Okay, in Instagram, basic scenario is if you need to put the story, right? You guys know about how to share your stories, right? If you need to share your stories, you switch on your camera and capture your photo or something and share your story. But in Instagram works with the your device camera through the internal API, right? Instagram API, and this is how it works, and it will capture your photo, and you can process your photo, and you can add the GIFs also. I saw a lot of people use GIFs, right? There are Giphy. There's an open API you can use, and you process it and send to the Instagram servers through API, and your followers or users can see your story, right? This is a basic technical example that you can see and you can daily use. And next, there are Spotify, Twitter, Facebook, Google. I show their how to get their API, and I'll show you in later. So there are Genius, Discord, Spotify. There are our Discord channel. You can Anshul put it on the chat. You can join through our Discord chat and ask the questions, and you can share your knowledge in our Discord channel. Okay. APIs turn software into Lego bricks. You guys played with Lego bricks, Lego building blocks. Use the chat. Yeah. If you guys Lego holic, and there's a Lego mechanics for build cars and okay, there are yes. Yeah, me too. So you have to use one by one Lego bricks. Okay, Ali Mustafa also. Lego bricks to build the perfect end product. It means maybe can car, maybe can building blocks, and doll. It's maybe can those products. If you need to build those, you have to set up the one by one Lego brick. And in technical term, if you know SDLC, software development life cycle, in their implementation time, you have to implement those built in individual services into one for get the perfect service. So that we are using APIs for that. In collection of APIs with your implementation, you can make the perfect output, perfect service, or perfect end product, right? So these are example that we can get from our childhood, right? Okay, let's move on. So what is Postman? Postman is today major role that we can that we're gonna discuss. So Postman is a collaborative API development platform. You can create your APIs and test your APIs and check the endpoints, right? It's a GUI, graphical user interface. But before Postman, I know a lot of developers use curl command. You guys know curl command? Linux command, Unix. Any Unix fans? Any Linux fans? It's not only for Linux. I'll show the how to curl, right? Do you guys use curl or have experience with using curl? Yeah, there are Chamali, Laksil, perfect. Okay, perfect, Ahmad. Okay, well, before we come into the GUI, the lot of developers use the curl command for get the endpoint responses, right? I will show in hands-on session how to use curl. And 98% of Fortune 500 organizations use Postman, and PayPal, Uber, NASA, and Atlassian. There are Jira, Atlassian product, and Disney, Philips. A lot of companies are using APIs today. I know in Sri Lanka, developers are mostly use Postman for testing their APIs. Because I interacting with the Sri Lanka developers, so that's why I know about that. In university, we use Postman for testing, right? Do you? Okay, drop a chat. Do you guys use Postman earlier or not? Do you know about Postman? Yeah. Yes. Perfect. Here our organizing committee members, they will drop you URLs for get the resources, download Postman, and these things. I hope no. Okay, perfect. You today onward you use the Postman, Dunisha. Okay. Here's the Postman download link and Postman sign up. You can use Postman web download the Postman. Okay, well, let's go. So there are 65% global, 2,000 organizations use the Postman. More than 500,000 organizations and 30 million developers are using Postman. Okay, and here is the curl command. I hope you can see the curl command. But don't worry, I'll show you in the hands-on session how to use curl command. And right side, there are Postman GUI. Obviously, we going through the hands-on session. You can get the how to work with the Postman as well. So okay, let's go. Request and response. If you are using APIs, this is the major keywords that we are using while developing APIs, right? So first, let's talk about request. You can set the request in Postman to connect to API, or you can send either curl also. But perfect, easy way to use testing API is I recommend the Postman, right? APIs you are working with, your request can retrieve and add, delete your. I know you guys know CRUD operations: create, read, delete, update, right? So whether you are building or testing your own APIs or integrating with third-party APIs, I mentioned the open APIs. There are you can try out your request in Postman, right? Your request can send parameters when we come to the update your API or add some data to the API. You can send the request body, and there are you can use request body for which parameters for by sending which parameters do you want the responses from API, right? You can try with the request body and send parameters and authorization details. There are tokens, right? I will mention the authentication, and there are things in future, right? And any body data you require, you can send through the request and response. This is a simple client-server architecture I mentioned earlier, right? So in here, response, the Postman response viewer helps to ensure the correctness of your API response, right? Responses. And API response consists of the body, header, and the status code. I'll show you in the Postman what is that. And Postman organize body and header in different tabs. I show you, and the status code and the completion time of your API call is visible in the Postman. I'll show you what it is. And responses is when the perfect answer for your request, right? Perfect answer from server side for your request, right? That's the basic idea. And making requests, we need three things, right? Three things. First is method. There are. Do you guys know get method, post method, request methods? You can react. There are reactions. Yes or no. Get, post, delete. Yes, yes, yes. Well. Okay. There are request methods. I show you. There are get, post, put, patch, option, and head. There are few methods to make in a request, and there are address, endpoint. It's basically URL, right? URL that you calling for the response, right? Server endpoint. It's example google.com. It's address, endpoint, and path. Path means where do you calling for, right? If you need search in Google, you have to add search path, right? We have to these three for making a request. So I'll go with the some practical things. I hope you guys saw the URLs that our organizing committee sent in the chat. Okay. I'm going to my workspace. There are workspaces. You can create different workspaces for your jobs. And I create the Postman API 101 Workshop Sri Lanka workspace. And any workspaces you can create, and you can show your collections inside the workspaces. In here, I make a request, right? For and I get the data from the Google, and I hit send. Oh, you can see the response, but is it readable? No, right? Okay. They are asking share a presentation slide, please. I hope we can't share that. Is it Ali? Ali and Ansel will respond in the chat for that. So this response is can't readable, right? So when you go to the preview, you can see the response from Google, right? And here is the Google logo, and right. And if you need to search Postman, in here it's mentioned the query params, right? I hit send. I'll mention what is query param and path param. And here in search tab, it's mentioned Postman, right? Do you guys know query params and path params? In query params, you can call. No, okay. Query params, you can call a query what you need, and you can call the database queries through the query params, and it's basically mentioned what you need to know, right? What you need to get, and by if you let's assume there are database and there are 3 members and with 3 IDs 1, 2, 3, and you need to get mentioned their name. Example Kaveesha, you have to get the details mentioned in Kaveesha. You can write a query in the URL param and get the response from Kaveesha details, right? And here's the query param, and I'll say search. Okay, and I mentioned the path, right? My path is search, and search result I can get the Postman. Yes, you can see, right? Okay, and let's I will show the how to curl, right? So, and you guys try this also, and I'll put the curl command. This endpoint is the most popular endpoint in Sri Lanka to get the responses from COVID patients in Sri Lanka. And I type a curl in here, curl and the endpoint. I'll share the endpoint. Okay, I get the success one, right? And success. There are a lot of data, but I get the recent data. Update time 27th, and there are cases. And I will type this URL in the Postman. Ooh, I got a lot of data, right? So the date, PCR counts, right? In here, status code. Do you guys know status codes? There are 200, 201, 404. How many status code do you know? You can drop the chat, drop in the chat. No, do you guys don't know status? Okay, well, I'll explain. Some of the message you received earlier, like the the request or endpoint, there are status code is 200, right? It is success code, right? You can search the Google and get the how many status codes do you know about? Get the idea about the status code. There are 200, 201 for update, and 404 not found, 403 authentication error, and there are lots, right? And you can get the perfect idea uh, about the status code. I asking some questions from you guys. 418 stands for. I'll check. I'll type. 418 is. I'll answer that if you don't know at the end. Okay, well, so guys, bear with us. There are text time. We will mention in the further slides, right? So, and here time. Time is how many seconds, how many milliseconds that we got to give the response from the endpoint. And here's the size. Size is a response size. This is a JSON type output, right? And when you go to the headers, their content type is JSON, and server is running Nginx server, and there are date, and here's the headers, and you can save the response also. And here test results. I will do one test. What is test? What is test is, and in further sessions, I will. Are you hoping to do what is prerequisite scripts and test? And bear with us, SLIIT FOSS and FCSC. We will inform you that. And Postman, we are trying to give new sessions in further. So in header are used to provide information in here. Headers are used to provide information to both client and server, right? It can be used for many purposes, such as authentication and providing information about the body content, right? It means I showed you a JSON type body, right? And you can find a list of valid headers on MDNs, HTTP headers references, right? So in here, you can see authorizations, right? What is authorization? Authentication. Authentications, I ask the questions, would you allow anyone to access your bank account without your permission? It's simply no, right? On the same line of thought, developers put measures in place to ensure you perform actions only when you are authorized to do. This is prevent others from impersonating you, right? So authorizations, authentications is provide the API keys and tokens, and those are, it's a security side, right? Okay, well, and here's a params. I mentioned earlier the query params and path params, and here body. You can see a few types of body, and non-form data, raw by GraphQL data, and we are mostly using the raw and JSON type body to send the request. In here, the JavaScript and HTML, XML, right? These types of body you can send the request. Okay, well, I hope you get the perfect introduction, a perfect idea about the API Postman GUI, right? And there are hidden headers. Is a cookie, right? Okay, so let's move. In here, that this is the what we did earlier, and here's a method: get, post, put, patch, delete, and there are option, head, and there are few request methods that we can use. So this is a get for retrieve, and post for send information, put update, delete for delete, right? And here, this is the endpoint URL and path, right? So HTTP is mentioning the protocol what we use, and here host and host server google.com, and path destination where request can be head and execute, right? Okay, here's the parameters that I mentioned earlier when you build in your request, and query parameters, path parameters, and their authorizations I mentioned earlier, headers and body, right? Okay, these are data types that I showed you in Postman. You can send your data in request, often supplied with post and put request, right? Data types, JSON, HTML. Here's a simple JSON example. Hope you guys know about the JSON file, right? Do you guys know JSON? Drop in the chat. Yes, yes. Okay, yes. JSON's JSON type bodies we are sending for request, right? And we can get the JSON type response if the server serves you. And here status code, I showed you 200, 201. There are 184. I'm a deeper. Ali mentioned that everyone can Google, right? So there are headers, accessing body data, responsive one, right? And body data, I showed you there are corona status, there are JSON type response body, and headers, status code. Okay, well, okay, let's go to the hands-on session, right? We'll provide you the link to access for the public workspace. Organization team will put it on chat, or I will put it on. Give me a sec. Okay, I hope you guys got the URL. Okay, Ali also mentioned in the chat. If our organizing team, it's possible to send the download links, Postman download links and sign up links to the chat. It will be better. Okay, let's continue. If you go to the URL, you can see it's a public workspace, Postman's API 101 workshop. And here we are today going through the basic of API, right? Basic things we'll cover, works with APIs. And here, fork button. Do you know about forks? I hope you guys work with the version control, GitHub, GitLab, Okay, yes. Well, so fork is it's getting a copy for your workspace, right? It's a basic thing that we are getting from fork, right? So now I'm gonna fork the. I already forked the collection. Now I'm gonna delete. I'll show you how to fork. You click in the fork, and you can add the label, right? I'm gonna label the Sri Lanka, or else you can use uh, date. I hope you guys working with the hands-on session. Uh, there are no problem if you don't have the local Postman applications. You can use the web input, and if you connecting with the mobile phone, it's okay. You can watch watch carefully and learn. You can do this later, right? And I add workspace my Postman API 101 workshop Sri Lanka workspace, right? And watch origin selection, and I fork. Okay, it's fork for my workspace. Okay. If you fork the repo or collections, what do you do first? Getting the repo or workspace, what do you do first? How do you know about the repo? I think there don't know about that. Okay. There Ali put the URLs for direct to the fork. Okay. First, we are doing the view the documentation, right? Otherwise, we can't get the perfect idea about the what this is, what we can do this, right? So we are going through the documentation. We can see there are endpoint. Well, there are 3 APIs. Well, okay, there are 3 APIs, but today I'm going to work with the one API. There are Pot API, Jock API, Jock relating to the programming, developing, and there are Book API. Okay, you guys can share your thoughts. What API do you need? Pot API, Jock API, Book API. Drop the chat. Drop in the chat. Jock. Well, Jock. Others? What? Jock. 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 Else? Got. Jock. There are not else. I mean, there are not else API. There are got job book API. Which API do you need? Jock. Okay. I see most of people are like Jock, right? Jock API. Okay, let's go with the Jock. So this is the endpoint that we're going to use. Okay. So is I get the data at the URL here. Okay, I'll add the URL and I hit send. Oh, there are simply hello world response, right? You can see, but there are no jobs. What we gonna do next? I will type the job endpoint, right? joke path. Oh, I can see the simple joke I paused earlier before the workshop, right? I know how to print hello world in Java, so I am a software engineer. Yeah. If you know how to print hello world in any programming language, you are a software engineer. Perfect joke that I paused earlier. Okay. And here there are view, Ali and our Postman member created the view for you guys. Oops. Here's a joke view, right? You can see. You guys can do with me and see the responses in later in few minutes. Okay, let's go. I get the data and I'm how to post your joke to this API, right? Okay, in here post, delete, put, and we are gonna do a post request, right? So let's create a new request, and here add request or other else you can open a new request tab, and but you have to save it, right? And I named it post joke, right? In here, what is the endpoint? And you can add this. You don't have to type this URL always, right? You can add this as a variable, right? Set as a variable by clicking this, and this app UI app URL. We can add the global or collection base variable. I will collection base. Okay. I can get the jobs, right? So if you need to see the variables in here, you can see the variables and values. So we are gonna pause the joke, right? And here I mentioned earlier, we have to send our body data here, right? I'm put the body data as a JSON, right? So I already create the body data here, and I already use the ID 10. I use 101 and Kaveesha Gimhana, and another joke. I mean, first year. No, let's have another joke. Website by using HTML programming language. And yeah, this is off. And I say, okay, I can see the there are 201 status code. It means created the joke, And I hope you guys add your data to the APIs. Here, I can make a website by using HTML programming language, right? So I did simply post to the API, and you guys can get the post request body from the documentation. So now I will get the data, right? If you remember, my ID is 101, right? So I send in 101. I can get my job here, right? Sure. Sorry guys, I didn't save this request. So in here, you can see the save button, right? You can save the these data to the here, and closing. I can open again, and I can see the body data, request data, right? Thank you, Dilini, for remembering me. Okay, perfect. Let's go. And I did get the data by putting my ID, and I get the data. Okay, I need to update the data, right? Which method we are gonna use for update my data? Put in the chat. Put in the chat. Put, okay. You can put in the chat which method we are going to update the data. Put in the chat. Put, okay, well, so put. Perfect. In, I name it update job, right? And put. Okay, leave it. I will let you know about that. But let's go for the delete request. And in here, we have the same as earlier. Okay, job with ID 101 deleted. Let's see in the view. Postman is good. So where am I? It's deleted. Okay. So in here there are test scripts that you can use. So I'm gonna use another one test script for you guys. Which is we are using for getting a perfect response or not. So now I'm gonna put a simple test script. It's using JavaScript basically. You can see here test scripts are written in JavaScript and are run after the response is received, right? Test it. We can see the test response after we can get the response, right? So in here, I use Postman test status code is 200 when status code become a 200, right? So I'll add this test in the get. In here, we can see test result status code is 200, right? So why we are using test script and pre-request scripts? Okay, pre-request scripts is before processing your request, before sending your request, whether check your request is okay or not. right? Prerequisite scripts are basically used for that. After the response is okay or not, it's we can get know about that through the test script, right? So in recently we are using Newman and there are Jenkins automations and for our test automations, right? So in further sessions, I will cover up those methods in future sessions, right? So bear with us, SLIIT FOSS, FCSC. So we will update that, right? Okay, and we'll try to get the perfect output from a put. Okay, there is no content. 204. Let's see.
Kavish, can you try adding the ID inside the body, because the ID should be inside the body itself?
Yeah,
That could be one problem.
I tried earlier.
Do one more thing is when you are,
Yeah,
yeah,
there
it
are.
is updated now, 204.
Yeah,
So it is
204.
updated.
Well, I did it earlier.
Yeah, sometimes the systems don't work right. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
glad it
Yeah.
worked.
Okay. Thank you, Ali. So sometimes this technical collapse comes to the inside the session, right? So this is the way how to create work with these four methods. So I'm here. I save the and delete this. So I don't know this one. Here's the four methods that we use to working with the APIs, right? So there are get. I'll get the jokes through the get, and there are post. You can send the post the data, and you can update the data here and change data, and you can delete the data what you added. So I'm deleting my 100 joke, so it's deleted. Okay, this is a simple thing we can do with the APIs, basics of API. So in further sessions, we are hoping to move for the intermediate things like API test automations in API testing, and how to write scripts, how to write read scripts, like that, how to add tokens. I mentioned earlier in authorizations and headers, we can add the tokens. There are some servers provide the responses accessing the tokens, right? So it maybe can static token, maybe can maybe update in 12 hours tokens. It can maybe, right? So okay, these the simple hands-on things that we can come up with, right? So sorry for the delayed and technical issues that we that had occurs. So let's move on to the slides. Okay. So what we learned, request essential to retrieve and update API methods. There are addresses, parameters, authorizations, and body data. I hope you guys did with me the hands-on session and get the perfect idea about what is API. And here, continue learning APIs as a student expert like me, right? So student expert certification indicates that you are proficient in the essential skills involved in the building and testing API requests in Postman, right? So when you become in the Postman student expert, you can organize the sessions hands with the Postman and get the this is writing basic test scripts and latest updates from the Postman, and you can interact with the student leaders and with student communities, with another universities, right? So this is a option for become a student leader. After the student expert, you can apply for student lead as well, right? So this is a open invitation for you all for become a student expert, right? So we'll add the URL in the chat. I hope you guys can access the link. Okay, by clicking this URL, you can get the data about how what are there in the Postman student programs, right? So next, win amazing sex. These are sex times, right? I hope you guys are active with me now. Okay, I'll mention there are two types of winning sex. So first thing is you have to create the public workspace and create your APIs, creative APIs you can create, and you can share your public workspace URL with us, and we will review, and we will let you know who's the winner and who is going to get the swag, right? So we will give you 48 hours to completing this task, and you can send your public workspace for our email. I will add the email. Okay, so you guys can send your responses for our email. I will show you how to create a public workspace, right? In here, you can create the new workspace. Okay. In here, you can click the link and send for us, right? It's getting URL for the collection, right? In here, you can create a documentation as well. In here, sharing. You can add our email, or you can copy the invite link. Right. So In here, you can add the our email. Invitation pending. We can see your workspace, and you can also you can send the link also, right? And this is a collection shareable link I showed you earlier, and it's okay to share your collection with us. But morely we are expecting your workspace invitation and link, right? Okay, and I'll show you workspace, and here same thing. Okay, I hope you guys can get the more perfect idea about the creating public workspace, right? Okay. You have to make your workspace visibility for public. Here. So visibility is public and save changes, and you guys we can access to your workspace public. Everyone can see your workspace in public. This is a public workspace preview. Okay, and you guys can invite for us because sometimes maybe your intentions are not working, whether we can access the public, or you didn't make it access public, we can access you through the email and visit. And these are the basic sharing things in Postman collection, Postman workspaces that you can see. Okay, let's back into the okay. Next thing is you can share your learnings, your ideas, and what you learned from this workshop through social media, and add this hashtag and tag me and mention me in your post, and mention the Postman, LinkedIn, Twitter, any social media, and we will see your updates and your ideas in social media, and we will get the 2 persons from social media things, and 3 persons from the public workspace sharing thing, right? So hurry up, try to win stacks with us. I hope you guys get the clear understanding about that. Okay, here the resources, learning.postman.com. You can learn the work with the Postman, what is API literacy, and Postman updates, explore postman.com through, and community.postman.com. There are forum. You can get the updates through our forum. So now Q&A session. So any questions you can drop in the chat. I will here for help for you guys. So, and here feedback form URL. You can write your open feedbacks for us. Our organizing committee member mentioned those URLs in the chat. And Now Q&A session, hit me. Are there any questions? Okay, I will explain. First task is sharing your public workspace, right? Public workspace, including your collection, the API that was a request made that you made the clear and perfect creative API that you created. You can add the request methods and if you are genius in the Postman, you can add the scripts also and there and make the workspace public, right? I will show you again. So in here my workspace. View, and here you can share your visibility public. You can in using in day-to-day life you can share with your team also, and here public, you have to make it public and save and share the visibility link, right? Workspace URL. I showed you earlier. Okay. Okay. These are things that you have to do. Clear workspace with the perfect collection, API collection, API call collections, and share with our email info@sliitfoss.org, and we will review your workspaces, and you have to submit before 48 hours, and we will review and inform you, and Postman will send you amazing swags, right? And second thing is share your learning with Postman student expert, right? What you get from me, what do you get? Is a perfect idea from this session? You can share through the social media and tag me, Kaveesha Gimhana, in Twitter, LinkedIn, or any social media. You can share the post and update me, and we will review the how so far the learnings, and we will inform for the Postman, and they will provide send you the amazing swags. Any questions? Do we access the same API used or create? No, you have to create your own APIs, right? It's on your local server. We can't access now. Yeah, it's perfect. You send in it with connecting with the web server. So otherwise we can get the perfect response from your collection. And here Ali Mustafa, LinkedIn URL, you can tag him also. Any questions? I think there are not any questions. You guys feel free to join with our Discord channel, get more updates. How long does it take to become a student? It may be with your working with the task, right? They provide us a collection, a student expert collection. If you submit it quickly, you can become an expert. You had to do that task also. Any questions? I think there are no any questions. Okay, let's wrap up. If you have any questions, you can direct message me to social media and contact the SLIIT FOSS and FCSC. And if you are if you join to the Discord channel, you can drop your questions from there. There are student leaders, student experts, and our community to help you. Okay. Thank you everyone for joining with me today. And special thanks for Ali Mustafa, Answer, and SLIIT FOSS and FCSC for helping me to do this great session. So bear with us. We will do more sessions in further. So thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you. Have a nice day. Stay safe.